Hello, today I'll be reviewing the album Vengeance Falls by Trivium, an album in their discography that I feel is somewhat kind of underrated. It's not talked about as much as some of their other albums in their discography, but of course you do have one of their biggest songs on here, that song of course being Strife, and when it comes to the rest of the album, especially certain songs, there is some stuff on here that I feel is somewhat kind of overlooked or underrated. But yeah, this was an album that was produced by David Draymond, of course, the frontman of Disturbed, and that was definitely one of the aspects of the album that kind of divided the fan base at the time when this album was coming out. But I don't know if this album is as divisive nowadays compared to when the album first came out, but of course that could be a whole different conversation. But yeah, also this would be their final album with Nick Augusto behind the drum kit, and I like his drum work. I do like it here and in Waves. Not my favorite drummer that they've had, but I do again like his drum work though. I do probably like Travis and Alex more. Alex would probably be at the top for me, but Nick would probably be third place for me. But still, again, solid drummer. Let's go ahead and move to the songs here, starting off with Brave This Storm, the album opener, and overall pretty strong way to open up the album. It's heavy, catchy, and maybe one of my favorite album openers from the band. Of course, my mind on that can change at any time, but still, overall, really good way to open up the album. But next we'll be moving to the title track, Vengeance Falls. Rhythmically, I like what they're doing in the verses. Definitely will get you moving for sure. But then we have the chorus where I'm really liking Matt's Soren vocals over the guitar. But yeah, maybe not, I don't know if it's one of my favorite title tracks from the band, but still overall another pretty good song on the album. But now we're moving to one of the big anthems from the band, track number 3, Strife. And it's definitely one of their big anthems for a reason. It's all around a really catchy, memorable song. It has a fairly catchy, memorable chorus, and I do think Matt's vocals is definitely one of the strongest aspects of this song for sure. But yeah, definitely one of the big highlights on the album, easily. But no, moving to the next song, No Way to Heal, and this song might be, well, yeah, probably a contender for maybe being my favorite song on the album. Absolutely love this song. One of the more anthemic songs on the album, but I just really dig the heavy riffage that you get in this song, especially such as in the verses. But then you have the chorus where, of course, probably one of my favorite choruses on the album. Again, Matt's continuing to definitely really kick a lot of ass with his vocal performance in this album. And he vocally sounds great throughout the whole album. But No Way to Heal, easily one of the big highlights for me on the album. And also has one of my favorite solos on the album too. A solo that not many people talk about. Now, I'm not going to say that's one of the greatest solos of all time or anything like that, but for me, easily one of the best solos on the album at least. But now we're moving to the song To Believe, and this is really the one song on the album that I feel somewhat kind of sounds like Disturbed a little bit. Mainly when it comes to rhythmically what they're doing in the verses. But I do like the verses though, and I do like Disturbed. Disturbed is not one of my favorites, but I do like them though. But yeah, To Believe, for all, a solid song. Probably not one of my personal favorites on the album, but I do like it though. But now we're moving to At the End of This War, and this song has always been one of my least favorites on the album, but I do like it though. It's just a song that I find myself not returning to as much as some of the other songs on the album. And now we're moving to Through Blood and Dirt and Bone, and I know this is definitely one of the fan favorites off the album, and it's also one of my favorites on the album too. I mean, rhythmically and really the hookiness of the song too, or at least moments in the song, it has to be one of my favorites on here. It's probably one of the songs that I return to the most off the album. Yeah, all around another really great song off the album. But then you move to a song that's grown on me more and more over time, and that song is Villainy Thrives. This is another song on the album that's never been one of my personal favorites, but I've always liked it though. But I definitely like it a lot more now compared to when I heard it for the first time, of course. But yeah, Villainy Thrives. When it comes to the pre-chorus, vocally, I like what Matt Heafy's doing there. Really, when it comes to his vocal performance in this song, I like what he's doing, whether it be what he's doing in the pre-chorus or his singing or the screaming that he does after the second chorus. But yeah, Villainy Thrives. Vocally, maybe one of my favorite performances from him on the album. But now we're moving to arguably maybe the heaviest song on the album, or at least one of the heaviest songs on the album, and that song is Incineration, The Broken World. One of the more complex songs on the album, you could say. I do dig the tempo changes they get in the song especially, but something that really stands out to me with this song really is the guitar work from Corey. And of course I do like what Matt Heafy's doing on the guitar too in this song, but I mean, at the end of the day, the riff work in this song definitely really pulls you into this song. I mean, this is just a really heavy banger of a song that I feel like not many people talk about. Maybe not one of my personal favorites on the album, maybe not a song that I return to as much as some other songs on the album, but still, I mean, when you hear the song, it definitely puts a smile on your face. It's definitely a song that satisfies, especially if you're really into the more heavy side of the band. Incineration, The Broken World. I mean, how can you not like that song? But yeah, all around, definitely a heavy banger of a song that some people should definitely give a re-listen to if you haven't heard it in a while. But now we're moving to the album closer, Wake, The End Is Nigh. One of the more unique songs on the album, I'd say. And another, when it comes to their album closers, definitely not talked about as much as some of their other album closers, like the title track from Shogun, but overall, fairly interesting song. For the first minute and a half or minute and 40 seconds or so, you have Matt singing over some melodic guitar before things start to get heavy later in the song. And with Villainy Thrives, kind of like with Villainy Thrives, I feel like Wake also has one of Matt's best vocal performances on the album, especially when it comes to the singing or the clean vocals, however you want to put it. But yeah, overall, another really good song on the album, and overall a strong way to close off the album. But yeah, if I were to give this album a rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Probably not one of my favorites from the band in general, but still, overall, another fairly solid album from the band. And something I can definitely appreciate, and something that I definitely really like about the band too, is that Trivium is a band that never really repeats themselves with their albums. You can maybe make the argument that their last 3 albums do kind of have some similarities maybe, but I feel like those 3 albums, those three albums, of course, being The Sin, The Sentence, What the Dead Men Say, and In the Court of the Dragon, I feel like those albums do enough to stand out on their own without just sounding like a copy of a copy or anything like that. But yeah, this album, maybe not going to rank as one of their best by any means, but still an album worth revisiting. And there are some songs on here that I haven't heard in a while that I recently re-listened to, and especially Wake, The End Is Nigh. That was a song that I haven't heard in a while that I recently re-listened to, and it's definitely really cool to hear that song and some other songs in here again, because those songs are definitely really cool, especially, again, Wake, The End Is Nigh. But anyways, 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on this album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you more towards the middle? And all that good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.